Now, we got a hold of Melania's list. I don't know if you'd like to, but these are her rules. You are not to ever again mention the bride catalog's return policy. His name is Baron, and he's our son. Stop asking who's the kid. You must at least consider drinking, or whatever else will put you to sleep. When I say I love you, do not reply with you're welcome. If I say jump, I'd like to see that. But that was how women were viewed in the 1950s. Irrational, pouty, vain, thin-skinned, hysterical, and just not that bright. Does that sound like anyone we know today? Who? Oh, him.
After Bill Maher revealed Melania Trump's marriage secrets live on national television, President Trump went into full tantrum mode. It quickly became less of a late-night monologue and more chaotic than a Thanksgiving dinner at the White House. While Trump scrambled to do damage control in real time, Maher kept swinging, turning punchlines into public humiliation. The Trump brand got flattened by a truth bomb dressed as a joke. So if you're finally done pretending to stick around. This goes deeper than just late-night jokes. This video contains public commentary and satire for educational and cultural analysis purposes.
Your unhappiness is obvious. You despise his creepy little monkey fingers touching your hand. So kick him to the curb. Slap away that hand for good. No more public embarrassment. No more porn stars. No more stealing your makeup. Toss his boxy clown suits on the front lawn. Just tell him, I'm leaving you and I'm taking our child. He would be stunned. We have a child?
So here it was, Melania's silent performance, finally given a voice. Bill Maher didn't whisper. He handed her a megaphone. In one breath, he listed everything she never said out loud. The forced handholds, the public humiliation, the storm of scandals she had to smile through. And then came the punchline. We have a child? A detailed inventory of a marriage so disconnected, the only thing they seem to share is a branding contract and a last name. This wasn't about divorce. This was about escape.
Sometimes when I bounce light off my diamond, Donald's hair will chase it like a cat. I wish I knew why I have a recurring dream I'm pinned beneath a giant orange sack of shit. And if I could tell my younger self just one thing, it would be this. If you catch a leprechaun and he gives you one wish, be more specific.
This moment didn't just expose a hollow marriage. It painted it as surreal comedy, not just cold, but absurd. Maher didn't need Melania to speak. Her silence, reframed through satire, said everything. A diamond, a cat, a giant orange sack. This isn't a marriage. It's a fairy tale gone wrong, staged in silence and sold as luxury. And that last wish? It wasn't for love. It was for clarity. The kind you only get when it's too late.
I have no first language. I hope I inspire little girls everywhere to marry for money. Oh, that's so sweet. Every time I look at my husband, I'm reminded of the Slovenian national dish. a fat, greasy sausage filled with cheese.
Maher didn't just question Trump's morality. He used scripture to indict it. Jesus turned water into wine. Trump whines. One teaches grace, the other grabs. And when the Bible says, don't covet your neighbor's wife, Trump apparently replied, what about my daughter? This wasn't a punchline. It was a moral mugshot, and it looked nothing like the savior he claims to follow.
Jesus turned water into wine. Trump just whines. The Bible says, thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's wife. Trump says, fine, what about my daughter?
Well, Maher didn't just offer Melania an exit. He cracked open a door, not just out of a marriage, but into something much darker. A relationship that doesn't just feel cold, it feels manufactured. And what he said next? That's when the branding collapses. If you thought this marriage was cold, Wait till you see how it was packaged and sold. Stay with us.
Maybe he would implode on his own. Maybe it falls to you now, Melania. You can end this reign of terror, and all you have to do is channel your inner Taylor Swift and walk out the door. You know you wanna.
So far, it's looked like a cold marriage. But what if it's colder than that? What if it's not a relationship at all, just a product? This wasn't a joke about food. It was a recipe for their marriage. Greasy, heavy, overdone, and strangely familiar. And when Melania says she hopes to inspire little girls to marry for money, Maher isn't mocking her. He's mocking the culture that applauds women for looking expensive, even when they feel absolutely nothing inside.
My Secret Service codename is that poor, poor woman. I copied this list from Michelle Obama.
If the greasy dish was the recipe, this line was the label. That poor, poor woman, not a nickname, but a classified codename. And while Bill Maher says he copied it from Michelle Obama, we all know Michelle's list had love, legacy, and leadership. Melania's? Just damage control. Because when your own Secret Service codename sounds like a cry for help, that's not satire, that's biography.
Imagine how nuts he would go if he had to see her in the press all the time. The Trump divorce, how Melania lost 200 pounds of flab. Melania, better than ever, says, I've never felt more not dead inside. Melania on Oscar de la Hoya, best sex I ever had.
This wasn't just a roast, it was a future headline planted like a landmine. Melania, better than ever. I've never felt more not dead inside. It sounds like satire, until you remember the last time they touched hands in public. And just like that, Maher flipped the script, from trophy wife to tabloid phoenix. Because sometimes the loudest thing a woman can say is what she'd say the day after she leaves.
Rupert has been married 4 times, Trump 3. Some guys just can't be alone. It's like how some guys get used to being in prison. They can't make it on the outside. They need to be married. When you're Donald Trump, wives don't leave you, you leave them. He would fall apart if she ever said, Donald, there's nothing keeping me here. I can't love what you have become, and I found where you hid my passport.
For Trump, marriage isn't about love. It's about possession, like branding a tower or trademarking a stake. So when Maher imagined Melania saying, there's nothing keeping me here, I found where you hid my passport, it wasn't just a fantasy. It was Trump's worst nightmare, because in his world, wives don't leave him. He leaves them for younger versions, bigger ratings, louder applause. But if Melania ever flipped the script, the real collapse wouldn't be the marriage, it would be him. And right on cue, the showman snapped. Behind the scenes, the red face wasn't makeup, it was meltdown.
He's the devil. What part of pleased to meet you, hope you guess my name, don't you understand? Yes, Donald Trump, who says that if Hillary Clinton was a man, she wouldn't get 5% of the vote. And if Trump was a man, he'd stop whining like a little bitch. This is a guy who actually brags about his prowess at whining.
I am a whiner, and I'm a whiner, and I keep whining and whining until I win.
Yes, it's the I Love Lucy school of diplomacy.
When Maher calls Trump the devil, he's not saying it with fire and brimstone. He's quoting lyrics, because that's what Trump is, a chorus we've heard 1,000 times. The narcissism, the chaos, the whining, oh, the whining. This is the man who bragged, I whine and I whine until I win. Which, honestly, sounds less like a world leader and more like a toddler at Target begging for a toy. And somehow, that tantrum became foreign policy.
Has there ever been anyone more thin-skinned? I made a joke about his father being an orangutan once. And he marched into court with his birth certificate and sued me. Because he's a whiny little bitch. And if he's not suing you...
We all know Trump's skin is thin. But Maher reminds us, it's practically transparent. He once compared Trump's dad to an orangutan. And Trump responded by suing him. With a birth certificate. Yes, a grown man worth billions took a joke to court, armed not with dignity, but paperwork. If he can't sue you, he'll threaten you. If he can't threaten you, he'll sulk. And if all else fails, he'll throw a tantrum so loud it echoes through Truth Social.
If he's not suing you, he's threatening to sue you or demanding an apology or threatening to spill the beans. He did that a few months ago when he was still battling Ted Cruz, and someone posted a picture of his wife he didn't like, so he tweeted he'd spill the beans about Ted's wife, and then literally told the press he started it. Just like Teddy Roosevelt would do. Yes, a billionaire and a United States senator in the girls' shower throwing tampons at Carrie.
When Trump clashed with Ted Cruz, he didn't argue. He threatened to spill the beans about Cruz's wife, and then told the press he started it. Yes, a billionaire, a U.S. senator, fighting like teens in a locker room. As Maher puts it, the girls shower from Carrie. Because with Trump, every insult is a crisis, and every tweet, a temper tantrum.
You know, I got him to sign that. This is my favorite possession. Yeah, 56 horrible things he said about me, obviously, which were in, I obviously had said something about him that, so like, no one needs to lecture me about Donald Trump. And well before I did the horrible dinner, which changed the world completely.
Maher once made Trump so mad, he compiled 56 insults in writing and signed it. And Maher, he kept it, framed it, called it his favorite possession, because nothing says fragile masculinity like a billionaire president who documents his grudges like they're war crimes.
Exactly, because...
He's that kind of guy.
What kind of guy is he? That's the point. We don't know. He's completely unpredictable. It took me 8 years to get Obama. He could appear on my second show. You don't know what this guy is doing, which is why I'm sweating like a whore in church.
So what kind of guy is he? That's the problem. No one really knows. He doesn't plan, he reacts. Loud, impulsive, always looking for someone to blame. As Maher put it, I'm sweating like a whore in church. Because with Trump, it's not politics. It's panic, dressed up as power.
He specifically,
seriously.
He threatened to sue you, right? Did he actually?
Threatened? He did sue me.
He took steps, legal steps.
No, he didn't take steps, Jimmy. He sued me. I had to spend a lot of money to defend this suit.
How much money did you spend to defend it?
A lot of money. Lawyers are not cheap.
Did you get served with a subpoena?
That's not a warning. That's a declaration of war in legalese. Maher didn't just get a tweet. He got a subpoena and a lawyer bill the size of Trump's ego. Because when Trump feels mocked, he doesn't clap back. He sues. Not because he's right, but because he can't afford to look weak.
Trump's commandments are like the regular commandments with LOL at the end. Adultery? Check. Cursing?
Listen, you motherfuckers.
Check. Stealing? Check. Bearing false witness?
Wrong.
Check. False idols? Oh, yeah. He is the world's least godly man, Jesus. So never forget, Lady Trump, that Hillary Clinton was born a woman, but you chose to live your life as a, say it with me, won't you, whiny little bitch.
Trump's 10 commandments? Lust, lies, and ego, followed by LOL. And when Maher turned to Melania, he didn't just mock her, he exposed her role in the charade. Hillary was born a woman. You chose to live as a whiny little bitch. Brutal, yes, but it hit where it hurt. Because for Trump, losing control of the narrative hurts more than any lawsuit ever could.
And finally, new rule, Melania Trump must do what dozens of buildings around the world have done and take the Trump name off.
While Trump lashes out like a toddler on Twitter, Melania answers with a list. No press conference, no post. Just a quiet set of rules that say more than any campaign speech ever could. No Wendy's in bed. No asking for affection. No girdles on the bathroom floor. At first glance, it sounds like a parody, but underneath the laughter, it reads like a survival manual, written by a woman trapped in luxury. Because sometimes silence isn't weakness, it's strategy.
So far, over a dozen Republican candidates tried to stop Trump and couldn't. Hillary couldn't. Never Trumpers couldn't. Mueller couldn't. Is there anyone left who can check Donald Trump? Yes, Melania.
Maher wasn't joking. After Republicans failed, Hillary failed, Mueller failed, the last person who might actually stop Trump wears Louboutin heels and says nothing at all. Because power doesn't always shout. Sometimes it just walks quietly behind you, watching, waiting, and knowing exactly when to leave.
It's not anti-feminist to say that in addition to doing everything men can do intellectually, women also have another power, the power of the ultimatum. Getting men to change their destructive ways by threatening to leave them, humiliate them, or cut them off in bed, it's a tale as old as time.
Bill wasn't asking Melania to yell, post, or punch back. He was pointing to something far older and far more effective. When reason fails, history shows, women don't always fight. Sometimes, they just leave. And that silence, it makes louder noise than any all-caps Truth Social post ever could.
Is doing something called the Rule of Five. Never heard of this, but it's something that he can invoke to get them to release the Epstein files. They're having town halls to kind of fan the flame. Is this where the Democrats should be going with this?
Well, totally not. But, Trump has more pictures with Epstein than with Melania, so there's something there, right? And listen, there's something there, right? Well, he's clearly worried about it.
When a man has more photos with Jeffrey Epstein than with his own wife, you don't need a headline. You need a divorce lawyer. Maher didn't just expose Trump's scandals. He highlighted Melania's silence as the most damning evidence yet. Because in this entire circus, she's not screaming. She's watching. And sometimes the person who says the least knows the most. It started as a roast. But what if Maher wasn't joking? What if he was showing us something we've all ignored?
Now, we got a hold of Melania's list. I don't know if you'd like to, but these are her rules. You are not to leave your girdle on the bathroom floor. You are not to ask for hand. You are not allowed to eat Wendy's in bed. Tell Wendy I can hear her.
Some marriages have love notes. This one has ground rules. Melania's rule book isn't just a punchline. It's a quiet cry for personal space in a life built like a gold-plated zoo. And when your marriage has more restrictions than your prenup, it's not a relationship. It's a containment policy with room service.
Well, maybe that's what we should do with some of Trump's stupid stuff. He took a 747 as a gift? That's not cool. Oh, well. The top military guy is a big drunk? Well, so is Ulysses S. Grant.
Trump doesn't give compliments. He brands things. So when he tries to rename the Kennedy Center after Melania, that's not affection. That's asset management. And Maher knows it. That pause, wait, what? Wasn't confusion. It was sarcasm served in a tuxedo. Polished, polite, and lethal.
I just cannot predict this guy or what will happen. And I'll tell you this, though, he is lucky. He's a lucky motherfucker. I'm an atheist. I don't know a person who believes in like crazy shit or weird. Yeah. But there is, I don't know, if he sold his soul to the devil, that is certainly possible. But he has a luck. Winning the first election. You had to have pulled an inside straight like you can't believe in politics.
Maher doesn't believe in divine justice, but even he admits Trump's luck defies logic. This wasn't just a man winning an election. It was someone beating the odds, rewriting the rules, not with strategy, but with chaos and showmanship. Like the devil signed the campaign check and forgot to read the fine print.
Like Batman, Orange Sphincter is a billionaire socialite from Gotham. Like Superman, he has a red cape, but wears it in the front. Like Aquaman, he can communicate with whales. And like Spider-Man, he has a spidey sense that allows him to see things other people cannot.
I looked out. The field it looked like 1.5 million people.
Which all would be funnier if so many people in this country didn't really believe in Orange Sphincter. Didn't really believe that he possesses super deal-making powers and a superior brain.
It's a perfect parody until you realize it's not. Trump is a superhero, not because he is one, but because millions want him to be. Maher isn't just mocking Trump, he's mocking the myth-making, a nation so desperate for power, it confuses ego with ability and orange spray tan with destiny.
If even dead people hate you, you gotta ask, am I doing something wrong? You know, the only bipartisan agreement we seem to have these days is that neither party wants Donald Trump at their funerals. Our loved one is dead. Don't ruin it. Trump is about as welcome at a funeral as the gypsy woman who wanders into restaurants and sells you roses at a business dinner. And he's the president, and people still don't want him there. It's like a children's hospital turning down Batman.
Bill Maher didn't just end with a joke. He ended with a funeral. Because what better way to sum up Trump's legacy than a punchline that even the dead wouldn't clap for? In a world where presidents are invited to unite, Trump is the first who needs a restraining order from the afterlife. This isn't just comedy. It's a eulogy for decency, and Trump didn't just miss the point. He wasn't even invited.
After all, he has actually said, in a short period of time, I understood everything there was to know about healthcare. And it would take an hour and a half to learn everything there is to learn about missiles. Even Brainiac couldn't do that. Peace between Israel and the Palestinians, it's something that I think is, frankly, maybe not as difficult as people have thought over the years. Yes, because they were mere mortals, whereas Orange Sphincter.
He said missiles are easy. Peace in the Middle East? Just a matter of time. Because in his mind, he's not mortal. He's the chosen one, by himself. But Maher wasn't just mocking a man. He was exposing a culture that confuses arrogance with greatness. And in that culture, the punchline runs the country.
And finally, new rule, Republicans have to learn the difference between being conservative and just being a dick. Like all superheroes, doesn't feel a need to play by the rules. On tax returns, fraternizing with the enemy, grabbing pussies, respecting facts, conflicts of interest. These are all the concerns of smaller men, as he put it during an address to the people of Earth.
I alone can fix it.
And just like that, the superhero cape slips, revealing not a genius, not a god, not even a leader, just a guy who thinks being cruel makes him strong, who mistakes dominance for competence and applause for absolution. It's not conservatism. It's just being a dick. And for too long, America clapped for it.
I mean, he talks about how we shouldn't have teleprompters. Please, let's bring back teleprompters, because these are just the brain farts, the stream of conscious ramblings of a guy who obviously has, over the course of his life, breathed in too much construction debris. It just goes from one bragging point to something else he thought of on the spur of the moment. It's not even a speech. And yet people, I think what they're responding to is this message that the country has been losing, which is insane.
And while the country is looking for leadership, what they get is drywall dust and delusion. No teleprompter, no coherence, just one long wheezing brag stitched together by ego and asbestos. At this point, calling it a speech is generous. It's a construction site meltdown with a mic. This wasn't just late-night comedy. It was a cultural MRI, power hiding behind pageantry, fake marriages sold as slogans, and applause for a script that's been rotten for years. Trump and Melania were just the case study. The real subject was us. This video is a commentary based on verified public clips and satire. All quotes from public figures are real. Interpretations and opinions belong solely to the creators for the purpose of cultural critique and social reflection. If this felt like more than just a comedy segment, if it felt like truth wrapped in punchlines, don't scroll away. Leave a comment, share your thoughts, and ask yourself, what else have we all chosen not to see?